Childhood is a magical and formative period of human life. It is when the seeds of personality, dreams, and passions begin to germinate. What many fail to realize is that this early stage is also filled with divine marks, subtle signs pointing the way forward in life. These signs may present themselves in various forms, through play, spontaneous interests, behaviors, or even the challenges we face. Have you ever stopped to observe how, from an early age, a child can show an aptitude for something, like an innate love for art, science, nature, or even helping others? These are the first hints of the divine missions they are destined to fulfill. They are reflections of what lies at the core of every human soul, a direct connection to a greater purpose. Perhaps, as you look back on your own childhood, you might notice something that was overlooked or even ignored by the adults around you. A hidden talent, a forgotten dream, or even a behavior that hinted at leadership or care for others. These moments are more than simple memories. They are pieces of the puzzle of your mission. The key to recognizing these signs is to revisit the past with attentive eyes and an open heart. In every childhood moment, there might be something extraordinary waiting to be acknowledged. What seemed like mere fun or a passing phase might actually be a sign of the divine mission unfolding before us. In childhood, play is far more than just a form of amusement. It is a natural expression of creativity and a deep connection with one's true self. Children have a unique ability to immerse themselves in imaginary worlds, creating scenarios, characters, and stories. These games are not just escapism or simple pastimes. They hold profound meaning and often reflect the divine marks of a future mission. For example, a child who spends hours pretending to be a doctor or teacher might be demonstrating a vocation for care or education. Similarly, a child fascinated by building things with blocks or inventing improbable creations might be revealing a talent for innovation or solving complex problems. Every game, every activity, is a clue to how the child connects with the world around them and their own potential. Moreover, childhood dreams hold spiritual power. When a child dreams of flying, helping others, or exploring distant worlds, they symbolically express a deep desire to fulfill a grand mission. These dreams are not just fantasies. They are inner longings that can transform into concrete goals and objectives throughout life. Many of us lose touch with these dreams and games as we grow older, influenced by routine, societal pressures, and external expectations. However, by revisiting childhood, we can rediscover something essential about who we truly are and what we came into this world to do. Childhood is not always a carefree period. Often, it is marked by challenges and obstacles that, at first glance, seem like moments of suffering or frustration. However, these moments of pain, family struggles, school difficulties, or even identity crises are also profound learning experiences that can reveal aspects of our divine mission. These challenges are, in fact, processes of soul formation. They shape character and often prepare us for what lies ahead. A child who faces family difficulties and learns to cope may develop a unique capacity for empathy and conflict resolution, qualities that may later become essential to their mission. Similarly, a child who struggles in school might discover hidden talents or learn perseverance, an essential skill for any grand mission. Furthermore, many of the obstacles we face in childhood teach us the importance of resilience. Each small triumph carries the mark of a divine strength that propels us to move forward, even when circumstances seem challenging. These moments can reveal our greater purpose, showing us that the divine mission often demands perseverance and inner strength. The important thing is to view these moments not as mere setbacks or failures, but as opportunities for spiritual growth. Every obstacle that arises is a chance to awaken a new aspect of who we are and how we can serve others. As we journey through life, the divine marks from our childhood do not disappear. They remain within us, silent yet present, awaiting the right moment to be recognized. The mission that began to take shape in our childhood becomes clearer as we mature. Often, we are called to rediscover it as an echo of something we always knew but forgot over time. Childhood is just the starting point. As we grow, life presents us with various opportunities and signs that can guide us back to that original path we carried within us from the earliest years. Some people discover their mission suddenly and inspirationally, while others may need more time and reflection. However, it is important to realize that, at every stage of life, this calling never fully disappears. The signs of our mission manifest subtly. Sometimes they are activities or interests that persist into adulthood, like a desire to help others, create, teach, or learn. At other times, the mission may manifest through the people we encounter, the situations we face, or even the crises that force us to reevaluate our purpose. By keeping our eyes open to these clues, we can reconnect with the call of our soul. The true mission is not something imposed upon us, but something revealed over time as we grow and open ourselves to our true selves. The divine mission is always an expression of love, kindness, and service to others. It does not need to be grandiose or universally recognized to be meaningful. Sometimes, the mission lies in small daily gestures, acts of compassion, care for others, or simply living authentically. If you are watching this video, know that it is no coincidence. Let's explore together some signs God may have left in your journey since childhood, revealing that He has always had a special purpose for you. Get ready to discover how to recognize these divine marks and understand the calling that has always been present in your life. God does not begin choosing us when we are adults. In fact, He knows and chooses us even before we are born. Just as Jeremiah was set apart for a mission before he came into the world, you too were chosen by God for something unique. Think about it. That natural talent that emerged in your childhood, that special sensitivity your parents noticed, or even that desire to help others from an early age. None of this was by chance. They were signs of God's divine plan for your life. Perhaps you noticed some of these traits in your childhood, but never stopped to reflect on what they mean. Now is the time to look back and recognize the signs God left along your path. Share in the comments, "I recognize God's marks in my life," and tell us what was the first memory or sign you identified. From the moment we are born, God has already mapped out a special plan for our lives, a plan that often begins to reveal itself in childhood. For God's chosen ones, there are spiritual signs early on that indicate the unique and grand mission entrusted to them. These divine marks are not accidental, but are revelations of the divine purpose that begins to take shape in our journey. Here are the 5 main marks God leaves in the childhood of His chosen ones, powerful signs that must be recognized and nurtured. Deep spiritual sensitivity. One of the earliest and most evident divine marks in childhood is an uncommon spiritual sensitivity. If you, as a child, always had a deep interest in life's questions, such as the meaning of existence, the destiny of people, or the nature of God, you may have experienced a spiritual sensitivity characteristic of the chosen ones. Often, these questions are not mere childhood curiosity, but a reflection of the soul seeking to understand life's spiritual dimension. Moreover, if you felt deep compassion for others, even as a young child, or demonstrated concern for the needs of others, this is a clear sign that God was shaping your heart to be an instrument of His love and mercy. The sensitivity to perceive the world's pain and the empathy for those who suffer are marks of someone called to do great things in God's kingdom. Restlessness for something greater. Another striking sign in the childhood of God's chosen ones is the feeling that life has a greater purpose. From an early age, many children feel that there is more to life than what others see. A restlessness that drives them to seek a deeper meaning for their actions and existence. This restlessness is not just a passing phase or a search for something more exciting. It is the Holy Spirit preparing their hearts to seek and live out a unique purpose. These feelings of dissatisfaction with superficial or fleeting aspects of life are an indication that God is preparing them for a grand mission. The feeling of being different or having an important mission, even as a child, reflects the Spirit guiding the chosen ones toward their divine purpose. Significant dreams and visions. For the chosen ones, dreams and visions are not mere manifestations of a child's mind, but often serve as windows to the spiritual realm. Many of God's chosen report having vivid dreams or visions from a young age, containing significant spiritual messages. These dreams might include images of a distant future, visions of a mission, or even encounters with the divine, which can be hard to understand in childhood, but later reveal themselves as divine instructions for the path ahead. These spiritual experiences, often dismissed as mere childhood fantasies, are actually manifestations of God's voice, speaking directly to the heart of someone being prepared for something greater. When you look back and realize you've always had a deeper perception of reality, know that this might be a divine mark. Your dreams and visions, far from being just elements of the unconscious, are key pieces in revealing your calling. Attraction to God's presence. Many of God's chosen experience an inexplicable attraction to the divine presence from childhood. Even at a young age, some feel deeply connected to the peace and serenity that come from moments of prayer, worship, or even simply contemplating creation. This attraction to spiritual moments and the peace that comes from being in tune with God is not a coincidence, but a clear sign of a precocious spiritual connection with the divine purpose. As a child, you might have felt drawn to church, prayer, or quiet moments with God, feeling a peace not found elsewhere. This desire to be in God's presence and feel His closeness is an important mark. From childhood, God seeks to establish an intimate and personal relationship with you. And this connection is a preparation for the purpose He has for your life. Natural gifts, leadership, care, and creativity. From childhood, God's chosen ones are often endowed with natural gifts that later prove essential for fulfilling His mission. Gifts of leadership, care for others, or creative and communicative abilities are some of the most common manifestations of these divine talents. If you, from a young age, showed the ability to lead others, teach, or even help in times of need, know that this is a clear reflection of the mission God has for your life. These gifts can manifest in many ways. As a natural leader in school or among friends, a child with a gift for teaching or understanding others uniquely, or an artistic or creative sensitivity expressed through arts, music, or other forms. These talents are gifts from God, given to you to use for His glory and to build His kingdom on earth. By recognizing and wisely using these gifts, you are living in alignment with the divine plan God has laid out for you. If you identify with these divine marks, know that God has something great for your life. He has never left you alone. From childhood, He prepared your heart, mind, and gifts to fulfill a unique mission. As you look back, you may see moments that went unnoticed, but now gain new meaning. Your story is unique, and God's plan for you is greater than you can imagine. If you didn't notice these signs in your childhood or don't identify with all of them, don't worry. The important thing is that God has a plan for every person, and He continues to work in you regardless of your story. Your divine purpose can be revealed at any stage of your life. The Spirit of God is always at work, shaping and preparing the hearts of His chosen ones to carry out His will. Therefore, look at your story through the eyes of faith. If these signs are present in your life, know that you were chosen for something special. Your calling is unique, and with faith, you will see how each of these marks transforms into a powerful testimony of God's grace and purpose. And if you didn't have these signs in your childhood, it doesn't mean you weren't chosen. Everyone has their story, and their spiritual gifts can develop throughout adulthood. Moreover, all the abilities mentioned above, among others, can be cultivated along your journey. Perhaps, as you read these words, you've felt a deep resonance, as if each sentence touched something within you that had been dormant. You've started to recognize the divine signs and marks from your childhood, and now is the time to awaken to the purpose God has always had for your life. These signs aren't there by chance. They are the foundation of your calling and the map to the unique mission you were destined to fulfill. The first step to fully living out your purpose is understanding that you were chosen by God for something greater. It doesn't matter at what point in your life this realization occurs. It could be now, at 20, 30, 40, or even later. God's timing is never too late, and everyone's journey is unique. But as you recognize these divine marks and the challenges you've faced, you begin to understand that you are being shaped and prepared to fulfill a significant mission. This path of discovery begins with a process of acknowledgement and transformation. As you look back, you see how faithful God has been, how He prepared your heart from childhood for something greater. Your gifts, your passions, even the challenges and difficulties you've faced, were essential components in shaping you. Now is the time to honor this process and embrace your identity as one of God's chosen. You don't have to be perfect to fulfill your purpose. In fact, God reveals Himself powerfully in human weaknesses and limitations. He chooses the imperfect and the flawed because it is through our weaknesses that His strength is made perfect. As Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 12:9, 12:9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Therefore, your challenges are not signs of lack, but of preparation for the great work He has in store for you. Throughout life, you will face moments of doubt, uncertainty, and even fear. These feelings are normal, but they should not paralyze your walk. Instead, they should be seen as part of the process of spiritual refinement. Just as gold goes through fire to be purified, you too will be tested and refined to become stronger in faith and trust in the Lord. Every step of your journey will be guided by God's light. Even when you feel alone, know that He is by your side, guiding your steps. Jesus Himself assures us in Matthew 28:20, "And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." He never abandons you, and His presence will always be with you, especially in times of difficulty. The divine purpose God has for you is not just for your life, but to impact the world around you. Your mission is intimately connected to the mission of other chosen ones, and together, you can achieve something even greater. Fellowship with other brothers and sisters in faith will be essential to your growth. Form spiritual alliances, share your purpose, and let the collective strength of God be a support in your journey. As the Apostle Paul wrote in verse 1 Corinthians 12:12, "Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so it is with Christ. You are not alone in this mission, and unity with other chosen ones will be vital to fulfilling God's plan." If you recognized yourself in the divine marks mentioned earlier, spiritual sensitivity, restlessness for something greater, natural gifts like leadership or care. It's time to develop these talents with dedication. God has already deposited these gifts in you, but now is the moment to nurture them. Like a gardener tending to plants so they grow strong and bear fruit. Practice your abilities, seek knowledge, and above all, pray and ask God for wisdom to use them in the best way. As it is written in 1 Timothy 4:14, "Do not neglect your gift. Your gift is a tool given by God to transform the world around you and should not be buried, but multiplied." Now is the time to live out your divine purpose with courage and confidence. God has a specific plan for you, and when you align with Him, the impact is extraordinary. You may not immediately see the fruits of your actions, but as the parable of the sower teaches us, every seed you plant has the potential to grow and yield abundant fruit. You are a light in the world. Where there is darkness, you are called to shine. Where there is pain, you are chosen to heal. Where there is confusion, you are called to bring clarity and wisdom. Your purpose is more than a personal calling. It is a mission to help bring God's kingdom to earth. If you recognized yourself in any of these experiences or felt touched in some way, know that you are on the right path. God has an incredible purpose for your life, and these signs are just the beginning of a journey filled with meaning and accomplishments. If this video spoke to your heart, and you believe you are being guided by these divine marks, like this video and leave a comment. This is a sign that you are on the right path. Share this message with others who can benefit from it, and continue following the divine direction being laid out for your life. Remember, you are being guided. Walk confidently, for great things await you.